Speech by Becky, good job. Very nice words. It makes me feel bad about what I was going to say. So maybe I'll think on my feet here, make it a little more kind. So like I barely even recognize Rich up here. I mean, this might be the first time some of you have seen him without a hat on. I actually thought it was Matt Damon sitting there for a second. If you didn't get that, I'll tell you later. But anyway, I've known Rich for over 20 years now. We met back in middle school, went through high school together, worked at the same booth that Kenny was together, went to the School of Engineering together, and we work together again now. So I got tons of Rich stories if you want to hear them, but I was trying to think of something that were, PG and family appropriate. That really narrowed down the list. So I was trying to think of something that was funny and, really embarrassing too. So I thought of something, 10 years ago. I used to own these jet skis, okay? And this one time, me and Rich and this guy Frank that's laughing over there at the table decided to get a jet ski ride. And they weren't just the kind you sit on, they were the kind you had to stand up and actually kind of balance. So you're thinking, man, Rich on a jet ski? That's about how it went. So we drove about an hour and a half out to this lake, and about 15 minutes into it, Rich had fell off the thing and hit the emergency stop so many times the battery was dead. And we had to swim out into the middle of the lake and swim the things back to shore. And Frank actually had to pose riding it for pictures because he never actually got on the thing. But that's not really the funny part of the story. The funny part was we were on our way home and we stopped at this little diner on the side of 22. It was called the Wagon Wheel. And Rich orders this sandwich and fries. And the food comes and I'm kind of watching him. I see him doing something kind of weird, and I could have warned him, but that's not really how I am. I was seeing where it went. So I see him pick something up off the table, and I'm like, man, what's he doing with this? And he's messing with it. And he's like, man, I don't understand this thing. Why is this coming out so fast? And I said, Rich, why are you putting sugar on your French fries? So, there's my funny story. It wasn't so bad, right? I got a lot more, but we won't go into those. So some of you might not know Rich that well. You might be wondering, what kind of a guy he is. And he's been my friend for a long time. I'll tell you that he's a really loyal friend, and I know who he really good to Beth. He's been there for me when I went through some bad times in my life. He was always there, never turned his back on me, and he's a really good friend. And we don't say stuff like that because we're guys, but just let you know that it's always been nice to know that y'all's been there for me. Other people, though, they might tell you that Rich is a little bit of a negative person sometimes. Maybe he's a pessimist, something. Oh, they say he's a negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, that type of thing. But I'm going to tell you, it's not really true. It's not really true, okay? There's just like some things that can make Rich mad, and I would like to say if we can all avoid those tonight, I think Rich can have a really good night, okay? So I wrote down a few things, okay? Some things that, might get Rich upset, okay? So I'm going to go through a few of them and we can avoid these things. So number one was puppies. Two, the laughter of small children. Sunsets, walks on the beach, ice cream sundaes, winning the lottery, bunnies, free cake, anything involving sports, positive outcomes, cold drinks on a summer day. Maybe everybody's right, Rich. But anyway, one thing I know I've never heard Rich say anything negative about was Beth. And since the first time he told me about her, I remember we were at my house, and they went on a date. They already had another date planned, and he was telling me how much he liked her and how well they got along. And he really wanted her to come to this Memorial Day party that I was going to have. He wanted her to meet all my friends and all our friends. And I remember he told me, he said, man, this girl, she looks like a supermodel. And I thought, wow, man. So you met this girl, she's Meg. And you got a second date planned. And she looks like a supermodel. Like, man, Rich is more progressive than I thought. He's dating a blind girl. Since then, I've gotten to know Rich, or I've gotten to know Beth pretty well, and so have my wife, and so have my kids. And I like to say we've all come to love her. We all think she's a great person, and we consider her part of our family now. And my daughter all the time asks for Miss Beth to come over, and she's really great with them too. So we're really happy for Rich, and really happy for the two of them to be together. So, hold on.
Oh, here, honey.
So everyone can raise a glass with me. Here's to many happy, joyous years for the two of them. They really deserve it.
If you need a backup video.